Alright, now let's format our code. So before we delete these messages and start some new chats, let's clean up our code. Okay, so this chat list, this column here, this stream builder, let's create its own class, okay? Because we know that a lot is going to be happening here, okay? So let's go on the widgets. Here, let's right click, new .file. So here, let's call this as a chat list. Chat list dot, okay? Like that. So here, let's create a stateful widget. Let's name it as a chat list, okay? So here on this chat list, that's where we're going to return all of these. So what we're gonna do is let's copy, let's get this stream builder. Let's put the comma there so that we can see where the stream is ending. So this stream builder, let's get it from here. Let's cut that. Then we go into our new chat list and then let's paste that stream builder there. Okay, now we can close it out like that. And then we have to import all of these, okay? Let's import that. Then import that. Then we need also to call the UID. So let's come inside the chat screen and then let's get the UID on top. Come inside the chat list and then paste that. Let's also import that. And then what else do we need to pass here? Let's pass this contact UID and the group ID, okay? So here let's do required this dot contact UID and the group ID, yeah, those two. And then that's all. And then down here let's just pass those and then pass those. Then here instead of that we need to, so maybe this one we can create a stateless widget. Do we need a stateless widget in here? No, let's keep it a stateful widget. Oh yeah, we need a stateful widget because we're going to be setting the state a lot. Okay, so here we need to call widget.groupID and then group ID and then contact ID. And then let's just import this and then import that. Then grouped list view we import. You can just import this date time, then all the errors are gone. Okay, let's remove what we don't need. And then in the chat screen here we just need to call our chat list, okay, that one. Then let's pass those required argument, contact ID, which will come from the contact UID. And then also we need to pass our group ID, which will come from the group ID, okay? And then that's a comma. So now you can see that let's just clean it up also on top here. Let's remove what we are not using. Great, so this UID now we are not using it in here. We can remove it also. And is a group chat, we are not using it here, we are using it inside there, okay? So if we check in the chat list, even here, okay, so this is group chat also, we are not using it. this, we're not using it here, okay, but let's leave it here for now. So now this is how we are getting the group ID, so I mean the chat list. So here now the chat screen, this, let's remove what we don't need even here. So what's going on, let's remove that. So the chat screen, now you can see that it looks neat. This chat list, we are calling it from another widget, okay. So if we go now to the chat list, we are going to customize this so that we can use it for all the chats, okay, even the group chats. So every time, even in the group screen, we are just going to call this chat list, okay. That's why we are sending the group ID. All right, so now let's go inside the chat list and then also customize it even further here. So coming down here, let's start from above. The first thing that we are going to create its own thing is this, okay. So let's also create this widget for the date, okay. So here we can also just put a cursor here and then extract a method. So here let's name it as a build date time, maybe. Yeah, build date time. Let's click on enter. So now we have created this. Now it's separate. If we go here, it's this widget which is down here. So we can see now that it's separate. If we want now, we can get this out of this class. We can cut this and then just go inside our utilities. Where is that? Inside this, okay, there's a global method, so we can put it in the global, but because it's only being used here, where can we put it? Maybe, actually, let's just put it in the global method. So here in the global down here, if we want, we can paste that, and then all we have to do is just to import these, okay. Import that and then also import that. Then if we come back to the chat list, this one we can just also import. Now we are using that from that. And then in the item builder here, so here now let's create our message, and then we'll create the other user's message, okay. So also that one, let's create in another class. What we are going to do is let's come here on the widget, let's right click, new file, let's name it as my message widget .dat. So here now we are going to create our widget for our message, okay. So let's create a stateful widget. Let's name it my message widget, and then here let's take the message model, okay. Required this dot let's just call it as message, okay. And then what else? I think for now let's just take that, only that message model, and then here let's do final message model. It's going to be that message. Now here let's start building our widget. So what we're going to do here is let's put it in our alignment, not the way Copilot is doing it. Let's put it in our alignment widget. So let's return that alignment, and then like this, align center right. So it looks like it's missing a bracket here, like that. And then here it's this alignment is returning a container, but now let's give this container, let's not return a container, let's have a box constraint, okay. We don't want our message, even if they are longer, we don't want them to reach this side, okay. So instead of this container, I'm going to remove it, and then I'm going to return a constraints. Okay, constraints, like constraint box, like that. And then I'm going to click on tab to get what Copilot is suggesting here. So here on the constraints, let's give it the max width. So the max width, this is what Copilot is giving it, like 70% of the screen, which is I think it's not bad. Let me keep that way. And then the minimum, also let me give it the minimum width. Okay, so minimum width, I'm going to give it it says 0.2, but maybe let's give it something like 0.3. Okay, and then here after that we're going to have the container to put our text here. So we can either use a container or we can use the card widget. Okay, so the colors for our main message here, I think let's use the primary color. Okay, so here what I will do is I will use the theme of context dot primary color. Yeah, that's the color that I will use. And then after that container, we are going to have the text. That's what Copilot is doing. But now we know that in our code we don't only have the text of the message, we also need to display the time and those tick marks to check if the message is seen. Okay, so let's do more on this one. All right, so instead of this text, what I would do is I will use I'll display in a stack widget. Okay, so I put the cursor here and then click on the light bulb and then wrap with a widget, and then here let's use a stack. Okay, so the stack has children, so let's cut this text and then put the children here, and then the first child here is going to be that text that we had. All right, and then maybe we can wrap this inside the padding, but maybe not now. Okay, first let's have the first child as that text. After that we need to have another child below here. So now here let's have a position widget, because we want to have this time showing and the tick mark here. Okay, we're going to have a position widget, and inside there we are going to put a row. So the reason why we are using a stack here is not a column, because we're also going to be showing some replied messages if we have replied messages. Okay, there is just a lot we are going to show here. Okay, so here let's have a position widget, and then what is wrong is it had a lot of let's see what's wrong. Let's come back. Let's just do it again. Let's see. So it has to be outside of this text. Okay, put it inside, not here. So after this text, let's have a positioned widget. All right, so now this one is going to return a row. Okay, and then here we are going to put those children. Okay, now let's position this. So let's get a bottom. The bottom will say maybe something like 4, and then on the right side let's do 10. All right, and then here let's give it some children. So the first child here is going to be a text of time. Okay, so Copilot already knows what we want, so let's click on tab. So it's put an extra bracket here. Let's remove it. So okay, great. Copilot knows what we want, so it knows that the first child here we want to put it as the time, and then also we put the tick marks like what it's doing here. So what we are going to do is this, we need to create the time on top here. Okay, so we did that on the other let's go in the chat list. Where did we get that time method? It's here. Okay, so let's copy this and then go inside here, and then we need to make that time here. Okay, so this date time, let's just name it as, what is it? Let's just name it as okay, it's fine like this, or we can name it as time. And then let's import this, and then this is now going to come from message. Okay, it has to be widget.message. And then maybe let's not put this, let's end it there like that. Let's just show hours and minutes. Okay, or we can show this if, okay, let's just show them for now. Yeah, let's show that. And then here, instead of this, you need to call time. Okay, time. And then here, message dot is read. No, it's not saved as this. This is saved as is seen like that. So down there we have which is showing the time, and then also the check mark. Okay, so for the check mark, we also need to specify the color. Okay, so here, if let's check also if it is seen. If it is seen here, let's copy that. We copy that and then paste it here. And then here, let's check if that dot is seen, we're going to get colors dot let's have blue. Okay, blue. And then in the else, we are going to use a white, or maybe let's say white 60. Yeah, something like that, that faded white. And then so for now, that's it. That's how we are going to show this. Let's close that. And then, so this, my message widget, this can be a stateless widget. Okay, let's turn this into a stateless widget. Okay, so that, yeah, this can be a stateless widget because we're calling it inside this chat list. So this will be my message widget for now. Let's also create the other message widget for the contact message widget. Okay, so this for now is just a basic message widget. We can test it for if we want. So if we go inside the chat list here, where we are checking for, we need to check the is me there. Okay, so Copilot is just checking everywhere. Okay, so let's first create the other message widget for the other the other user. Okay, so here, let's come on the widgets here, right click, new file, and then this one, let's name it as what can we name it now? Let's say contact message widget .dat. Okay, so we are going to do the exact opposite here. So here, this is going to be a stateless widget also. Let's name it as a contact message widget. Okay, so hopefully Copilot will know what our code there and just repopulate this. So here also we're going to take required this dot message. Okay, looks like it knows, and then let's pass that message here, and then let's import this. Now here you will know that we are returning an alignment widget, and then let's see if, yeah, okay, Copilot knows exactly what we want here. So let's click on tab. All right, so yeah, it knows. So here, let's just import these colors, and then also import that. So now Copilot here has put the time direct here. It did not initialize up here, so let's just do it. Time, let's say final time will be equal to that. Then instead of putting all of it here, let's just add time here. All right, so yeah, this is also the same. Yeah, so for the other user, we don't need to put check marks. This is only on our side. Okay, now we can remove what we are not using there, and then let's try to test this. All right, so let's see, it has aligned it correctly, so it knows that this is the left side. Okay, so now let's use contact message widget and my message widget. So let's come inside the chat list here. So up here we are just going to check. Let's remove all of this that it did here. So if it is me, let's just check. If is me, we are going to return my message widget. Okay, that one. So what is the problem? Why are we okay? We need to put that. If it is me, we are going to return my message widget, and then other, not this other message widget, we are going to return contact message widget. Yeah, that's how we named it. And then instead of the message here, it has to be the element. Okay, element like that. So this datetime, we don't need it there. So now, first of all, before we go further, let's try to hot restart with these settings. Okay, so here is our new message, but now this is not correct. You'll see that the time is also together with the wording here. So let's fix this. Even here, this time needs to be below. Okay, so let's also just remove this ending of the time. Okay, so let's fix this really quickly. So let's go and put some paddings. Let's go to my message card. Where is that? So here, let's give this some padding. Okay, so let's wrap this with the padding, and then here on the padding, let's do agency.only, and then here let's see what we can give it. So left, let's give it a 10, and then right, let's give it 30. That's 30.0, and then top we can give it 5.0, and then in the bottom, this bottom, let's have 20. Okay, so let's put a comma there. Now let's try to hot restart. Okay, yeah, we want something like that. Okay, yeah, and then let's remove this. Let's keep it like that. Let's hot restart again. Yeah, that's how we want our messages to show. And then we also need to put some space on this one. Okay, so yeah, that's how our messages will show. And then this other message for the other user will show like this. And then let's also put some padding on this one. So let's go to contact message, and then let's wrap also this with the padding. Let's wrap with the padding, and then also let's say only. Left, we'll give it a 10, and then right, let's give it a 30. So let's just put it a double as uniform, and then here the top, let's give it 5. then the same bottom will be with 20. You can put the comma and hot restart. Yeah, so let's keep it like that. Okay, so that's it. And then also let's put just the padding between these. Okay, so we just need to come to the chart list. Let's go to the chart list and then add some padding here. Okay, we wrap this with a padding, then if we hot restart, you can see that we have some spaces now. But if you want this to be sticking to this side and only give the padding to top and bottom, we can just say only top, which is 8, and then bottom 8. Yeah, and then let's do the same even to this one. Wrap with the padding, and then let's just get this, copy and paste here. Now let's hot restart. There, we want it like that, and then that's it. So this time now we don't need it here, we can remove it. Okay, so that's about it. Now at least we formatted our code. Now it's looking more cleaner. We can remove all that we are not using here. So this will be our chat list, but we are still doing more things here. In the next video now we're going to delete all these messages and then start with a new one, so that we can display the correct dates here. And then after that, so here we did not remove that. Let's go to the contacts here and then remove that. Let's hot reload. Yeah, we want it like that. And then after that, now in the next video we are going to add that reply feature. When we swipe here, we can be able to reply to this message. So we'll delete all of these and then start the new chat. So that's it, guys. So in the next video we are coming back to this to clear it and then add the reply feature. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.